a few people have asked me to make a video on the MFT or the EFT tapping points that we utilize a lot to connect the physical body and the emotional body, and how we can use that to help release some of this old trauma that's coming up, or even just to settle the body. It's a really nice way to combine all the acupuncture meridians of the physical body with some of the emotions that we're experiencing, and a really nice way to help that release. So I look in the captions below. I've attached a handout there with some of the visuals that you can walk through this. Typically, you're going to tap in a waltz rhythm, so a rhythm of 3 for at least 9 to 15 taps. It's nice to combine that with closing your eyes and doing some deep breathing, or you can combine it with some phrases like, even though I'm feeling anxious, I deeply and completely accept myself. Or even though the situation is feeling out of my control, I can be grounded and centered in myself. It can be a really nice way to bring you back into your body and settle some of the trauma that's coming up for you that feels a little bit bigger than what you can deal with. So the first spot is on the top of the head. If you imagine a line going down the midline, I'd like to line up all the fingers. You know, we have an acupuncture meridian that comes out each fingertip, so let's put it all to action. So one hand in front of the other. 1, 2, 3. This is a really great spot I've seen for my autistic kids, especially if they're really amped up. I'd love to just do a quick little tapping in a nice slow rhythm. It can really help calm them down. So for you as parents, that can be a nice one just as they're sitting there in your lap or nearby. The next one is on the eyebrows. So feel the edge of that bone that's there, and you want to line your fingers up there. Make sure to include that pinky to get that middle part. The next one's going to be on the temples. Take a line going out from the corner of the eyes. You're going to feel this maxillary bone. You're going to line your fingers up along that. This is liver gallbladder meridian. Really great if there's a lot of anger and frustration coming up, or if you're having headaches or some of that kind of toxicity feeling from die-off from some of your treatments. The next one, imagine a line going down the center of the pupil. So you're going to lift your elbows up, line those fingers up right down the middle of the cheeks. This is stomach meridian. Next one's going to be the upper and lower teeth, and you want to make sure and get that little cupid bow, that little divot right above the upper lip. That's a really great spot for histamine reactions, or when you kind of feel like you've separated from your body and you need to bring yourself back in. So if you're using both hands, I like to stagger it a little bit so the pinky is getting in there, or you can just use one hand at a time. So 1, 2, 3. Next one is on the back of the head. Imagine a line going from the top of the ear back. So back here, you're going to feel a ridge on the back of the head, and that's what you're aiming for. So you can use your fingers to tap there, or you can do this karate chop method to get there. The next one is one of my absolute favorite points, kidney 27. So feel where the collarbone is. So that's that bone here. We have the breastbone in the middle, and there's a little soft nook on each side. It kind of makes a T shape. So it's in that soft nook. Sometimes you'll find you're tender in that area, or when you tap on it, it just feels so calming. So make sure you're being firm enough that it makes a little noise. Kidney 27 is kidneys and adrenals. So this is a really good one for times that you're stressed. And I find it's really good to match the rhythm, kind of the opposite of your emotion. So if your emotions are really heightened, you're feeling all amped up, slow it down. Slow your breathing, slow the tapping. I tell people, think of your emotions as if they were a baby. If that baby was agitated and you were rocking them, what's the rhythm that you would tap them? You know, if they're really tired and lethargic, you're going to kind of go a little more vigorous. And if they're really amped up, you're going to go slow. The next spot here is imagine a line down the middle of the armpit, down the sides of the rib cage. So if you can lift your shoulders up, you're going to kind of tap the hands in here and tap along there. A lot of times this can be a sore area. This is spleen and large intestines. And then there's a few emotional spots that can be on the hands. So if you imagine where the pointer fingers come together, this is really great for those of you doing ART testing. If you want to open up a switching, these are good points to do that. And then some emotional points. So we've got lung on the thumb side of the wrist here, right in the middle is pericardium, and then the heart meridian. So some of these can be really good. Lung, I think of as grief. And the heart meridian, a lot of times if you're going through a breakup, you're going through a big emotional trauma and just feeling really vulnerable, you'll find that just even tapping on these points can be really grounding for you and can really bring you back in your body and relieve some of that feeling. So even if you don't know what it is you're processing, but you know what, I just feel a little bit out of sorts, going through the tapping points a few times a day can be a really nice way to center yourself. So I hope this has been helpful. Know there's a handout below, and if you have any questions on doing this, shoot me a message.